Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me. I can use why would a high creative media agency? I love this one. This is always a great subject, so I'm going to dive straight into it because we've got heaps of slides to get through, and I don't want to waste your time. If DIY content was enough, you'd already have the leads. It's as simple as that. If you were doing such a great job yourself, you would have the leads, you would have the conversion, you would have the reach that you wanted, and everything that you desired would be at your fingertips. But unfortunately, it's not always the case, and you might have had two or three good things that worked out for you, but this will not continue over a long period of time, and I might be proven wrong. And I'm more than happy to hear that. If this has happened, please shoot me a DM. I'd love to hear what you did, how you did it, just so I can understand. Think pulling out their phone and hitting record makes them a content machine. It does. I'm going to agree with this to a slight degree. On the degree that everything that you film can be turned into content, and with the day and age that we live in, with yes, iPhones, a lot of content at your fingertips, and using it the correct way, you can see great results. But it's about understanding where that content sits on your social media, website, your marketing funnels, your email marketing, and it's about digesting it and polishing it the correct way so it will work. But ultimately, when you start going to that marketing funnels, the leads, and everything else that goes with it, you want to be making sure your content is quite polished to represent your product and your service that you offer. Jumping into slide 4, the mistake is they confuse being visible with being valuable. And I get it. A lot of people just feel like they need to be visible, and it's confusing because you want to be online, you want content, you think you can do it, but then it really confuses everything because you're just showing up and it's just not representing who your business is or what you stand for or your beliefs, and it does more damage than good. And not in a bad way. I believe that people can create content on their phone that is still polished and high end, but it's just like, how sustainable is that for? And I sound like I'm trying to get myself into a sales here, but it's not, because we've worked with many people where we would just knock them back and just say, you know what, you actually are doing right with your phone and the content you produce. Just do this, just tweak it. So I don't want to sound like I'm obsessed with trying to sell something, because I'm not. I want to give people a scope from the top down. I mean, there's some stuff that we film that we can't really replicate, which is real authentic story posting. So there is merit to both sides, and I just want to sort of bring that through as we run through these slides. A graveyard of videos with no watches, zero leads, and the creeping thought, why isn't it working? And we see it a lot. We think, okay, well, I've gone authentic. I'm using my phone. I'm posting on my stories. I'm creating reels. I'm using an app. What's not happening? And then it just may not be hitting the mark because although you're showing the life of or the product of or many of these elements, it's just not hitting where it should. And it could just be the quality that it comes across in. It just might not be enough. But let's jump into 5 key points. So I've got here: strategy beats selfie mode every time. Like showing up for a job interview in pajamas, yeah, you're there, but nobody's taking you serious. Before you post, ask, does this position me as the go-to? Just like when I make these videos, I think to myself, does this position me as the go-to? I believe it does, because I share my insights, my thoughts in a relaxed environment on a Loom video that you can see my screen. I haven't really polished many things up, but this does position me as the go-to because I'm the guy that you can approach. I'm not coming to you salesy, even though this video is sitting on top of a calendar link to book with me, but that is there because where you came from is a lead magnet. This is the information. You don't have to book with me. This asset sits in my business forever. It sits in our email marketing. It sits here. It sits on Instagram. It sits on our website as resources. So there's particular times where it needs to be a bit more relaxed, and there's particular times where it needs to be, I am the go-to for this particular product or service. Content without clarity is just noise, like yelling in a crowded room with no mic, one message per video, cut the ramble. you need to bring it substance, bring a narrative, bring a story, bring the trust building, bring the brand awareness, build it through your content in a correct way. You just don't want to be on your phone blasting selfies, and you just, the people that works well for are the people that have a huge following, because it becomes more authentic when they become that big, or to the likes of your Casey Nisbet, Gary Vee. They have the authentic, they have the selfie mode, then they have the polished podcast style, then they have the film crew that does it. So there's different tools for different environments and a particular way of telling the message. Good visuals don't just look pretty, they sell. Like a restaurant with great food but no sign outside. People judge in 3 seconds. Look like someone worth trusting. So if you've probably made it this far, you probably trust me with what I'm saying to you. If you probably canned it at the start, you'll never see this message. But if you've made it this far, you've obviously trust me, and you see something in me that you go, okay, I understand what he's saying, where he's coming from, and he thinks in a particular way. So ultimately, that's why we need to be very careful on the way we have, the trust come along. It's probably one of the biggest pillars that a lot of businesses forget, and more in that corporate and high level space. And then again, at that small business owners. Corporate has either got funding, the small business owner doesn't want to be building trust because they don't find they need to. And it's probably one of the main pillars of getting them to that next stage in their business to scaling up. Number 4, DIY content burns your time, not just your vibe. You're the CEO, not the intern. Stop editing, start leading. See it a lot. A lot of business owners love doing it, which is great. They will either dedicate an hour to it every day, and they'll get around to filming some stuff, getting on their story, getting interactive. I've seen CEOs do it. I've seen guys that have sold companies that are worth $600 million do it. They get involved with it, they allow a bit of time to it, but again, they have a team under them, they know what they're doing. You've got to remember that every time you see content that looks really, really authentic, it generally has a strategy and a team and a message behind it. So, buy back your time, either hire someone within your team, don't hire me, hire someone within your team to take care of this and understand how it all works. Get them using their phone, that's fine. But ultimately, what you want to be doing is making sure that you are not just the intern. Number 5, agencies just don't film, they frame your authority. Bring the fire, we build the fireplace. It's not about gear, it's about how it positions you. We're not freelance videography, we're a creative media agency from end to end, where we basically take small businesses and give them the resources of having a full-blown marketing, sales, funnel, email marketing team, along with the social media tools, and setting them up to win. That's our main goal. We generally will create content that's data driven. Our first couple of months with them is just posting some content to understand their followers and where they sit in the space, and then building out that to make them the authority. We've seen some clients that are small businesses start off with a particular product and then become the authority in that space, where they have the only right to that product in Australia, which has been amazing to see when I think back on it. Now, if your content doesn't make money, it's just a hobby. While you're feeding the algorithm scraps, we're closing clients. Now, touching base on this. If you're posting on social media, not getting anything from it, you think you're doing well, you're just giving social media exactly what it wants. It's content just to fill up the space, because in 24 hours, the content that you did is gone and it did nothing. On our end, everything that we post is strategized, it's put into pillars, if you've made it again this far, you've obviously seen the reason why we did the first post and how far it came down the channel. So it's really, really important that if you're building out that content, you want to be closing clients, you want to be making sales, you want to have a purpose, a lead, a conversion, you want it to bring you data so you understand your market more. If you're done wasting your time with content that doesn't convert, hit the link and let's make something that actually moves the needles. So on our end, you've seen the calendar behind. If there's something that interests you and what I can do for you, well, we can create a complete funnel system, a marketing system that puts your marketing team on autopilot. If there's something more you want to know about this and why and what, message me. Happy to have that conversation with you. If you want to jump on a call with me, the link is below that you can book and we can jam out and have a bit of a discussion and hopefully I can clear some questions for you. Thank you.